In this tutorial, we're going to look at a couple different things. The first thing we're going to do is look how to ask the user for input and use that user's input to do some things. And we're also going to look at the double variable, which allows us to accept numbers that have decimals. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to import a utility called the scanner utility. The scanner utility is going to allow us to use the keyboard, or allow the user to use the keyboard when they're interacting with your program. I'm going to start by putting import java.util.scanner. Okay, and that's going to import that scanner utility and allow us to use the keyboard. And then we're going to start our program. So public class, call this Lab3. I should make this a capital. One of the conventions in Java is to start these with capitals. So I'm going to actually save this as a capital as well, because obviously the class file name has to match the file name. Okay. Alright, so once we have that in there, we can then open our curly bracket. So what we're going to do now is we need to create our main method. Public static void main, open bracket, string, square brackets, args, and then again open curly bracket is going to start our main method. So the first thing we need to do is create a variable called a scanner variable that's going to allow the user to use the keyboard. And we're going to attach this variable to the user input. So we're going to say scanner k equals, so k is a variable. K could be anything. It could be keyboard, could be Q, could be anything, but we're going to use k to represent the keyboard. New scanner, and then we're going to do system.ini or in. Okay, so that allows us to, that assigns a variable k to the keyboard. Okay, so now we're going to ask the user to input some data. So system.out.print, and we'll say please input two numbers, and I'll put a colon and a space and at the end of the quotation, and again we have to end the line with a semicolon. Okay, so now we have to accept these two values from the user, and we want those two values to be double so the user can input decimals. So we're going to declare it as a double, and we're going to call this num1, so for number 1, and we're going to make it equal to whatever comes from the keyboard. So we're going to say k dot next double, and you're going to have open and close brackets and your semicolon. And we'll accept our second number, double, num2, and it's the same code again, equals k dot next, capital D for double, and open and close brackets and a semicolon. Okay, so that's going to accept my two variables, my first number and my second number. Okay, so now I want to do an operation with them. So I'll find the product of these two numbers. So to find a product, I have to declare a new double variable. So I'm going to call double, and I'll call the variable product. And I'll make that equal to num1. I'm going to use the star for multiplication. Num2. And again, I'm going to put a semicolon here to end that operation. Now I simply just have to display my results. So system.out.print line, and I will say the product of your two numbers is, I'll put in a colon, space, and end of the quotations, and I'm going to attach it to my variable product. And of course close my bracket and my semicolon to end the line. And now I close out my main method, and I close out my class file. And hopefully when I compile this will work. Oh, I have an error. So public class lab3. Oh, let's see, I have, if you notice here, lab3 is capitalized. Over here it's lowercase, so let's change that. I thought I changed that before. Save. Where is it? Yes, so yes, here. I just want to change it there, so I'm just going to quickly, even though I shouldn't do this because it's a convention, I'll just change it here to get rid of that error. Okay, compilation is complete, and I'll run it. So input new numbers. I put a 4 and a 5. The product of your numbers is 20.